much should it matter to our thinking who wrote a given book? On the one hand, an author's fundamental premises and experiences will necessarily shape a book. What he or she chooses to write about and how he or she chooses to handle that subject are formed, even if subconsciously, by his or her deeply held ideas about the world. However, we should be able to understand a book's point without knowing who the author is. It should contain enough context for us to grasp the theme on its own. No book is written in a vacuum, but an author's demographics and social context alone do not determine the ideas in the book, because people are individuals with free will and minds of their own. Almost everyone will agree with the dominant ideas of their time and social circle in some ways and disagree with them in others. For example, Jane Austen parodied some social norms of her time, such as the popularity of a certain kind of Gothic novel, took sides on some hot debates of her time, such as slavery, explored other debates, such as marrying for love versus marrying advantageously, and seemed to accept, with clarity but without criticism, the fact that if a young woman in her era was to be financially secure, in almost all cases she must marry. But many of these ideas are clear when reading her novels with only a little bit of cultural context. You don't need to be an expert on Regency-era England to understand the themes. So, although knowing something about the author and his or her background can be helpful, it certainly shouldn't outweigh what's actually in the book itself, and we should never slip into thinking that we can predict what an author thinks on an issue only by knowing his or her social context.